Okay, we're continuing with our parallel lines. So when you see these nice little parallel lines, you are allowed to use, this is the only time you're allowed to use the Z pattern, F pattern, or the C pattern. So the Z pattern, F, or the C pattern. This is the only time. So other than that, you're not allowed to use it. So we have these parallel lines. So when I see these parallel lines, you can use those patterns. But you can also use anything else that we already know. So we know triangles, we're going to be able to use triangles. We know parallelograms and quadrilaterals, so we're going to be able to combine these. So for this one here, I would first start with an opposite angle. Anytime two angles are opposite with the crisscross of two lines, so two lines are intersecting like that, then we actually have opposite angles. So here it's opposite angles. Right, so opposite angles there. So then that means that y would also equal 50. These are actually going to be the same angle. Then from there, we can go and use the, see how these corners actually even look the same? They'll even tell you, they're trying to show you that they're the same, because we have the F pattern. So the F pattern will go like this. So F pattern, and it's an upside down F pattern. So you're allowed to turn the page around and go, oh look, it's a backwards F, which means that these angles would also be the same. You can even see that the corners look the same. So here we also know that X would also equal 50. Okay, so that's F pattern. And this was opposite angles. So for the next one, we're looking as well at the parallel lines that I highlighted, and we're going to look, I would fill in whatever angles you can. It doesn't matter which angles you start with, you can still fill in extra angles. So 80 and 80, so I know this is 80. So those are opposite angles there. Now what else can we look at? We also have Z patterns and F patterns, so you could say, oh wait, I already see an F pattern here. So there's an F pattern right there, right? And then you go, oh no, but they don't match. That's not under and under, right? So it has to be, the way that the F pattern works, it has to be under and under. That's not the F pattern. So then instead of the F pattern, we could go over here and use the backwards F pattern. So if we use the backwards F pattern, does this match? So we this one here, so the orange here, and we have under and under. So you see how it's matching? So then we know that X would also equal 80. So then you go, okay, well, how am I supposed to find the Y value? So to find the Y value, I think the easiest way, there's more than one way, so you're going to get more than one way to answer these questions, is you can use a Z pattern as well. So yes, a Z pattern also exists. You've got this, and you would have said that X here also equals the 80. So you got that. So you are going to have more than one way. So this one I use the F pattern. So over here you're going to have more than one way, but the one that I can see right now is that I know that it equals a straight angle. This is like the protractor, and it adds to 180. So that straight angle is 180. So that means that for Y, it's going to be 180 minus the 80. So Y will equal 100. So it's the rest of it. All right. The next one here, again, you can only use Z, F, or C pattern when you have two parallel lines. So these guys here are telling you can. Those two are parallel, and these ones are parallel. So we have over here and over here. So if we've got that, then we are going to use, again, as whatever we can. So I can see already a nice Z here. So if you do this and we go connect, 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 and you can use highlighters, these alternate angles, right, those two opposite corners there, not opposite, but alternate corners, will tell you that Y will equal 30. And that's a Z pattern. You don't have to give the reason. I believe in this question I asked you to state the reasons here, so this one would have been C pattern. Right, so we've got different reasons, and this question I was just, when we discussed it, we were talking about, that was F pattern, Z pattern, straight angle. Here, I want to get the Z. The X, you have a couple different choices here as well, so you can still use the backwards Z like this, and that would tell you that this guy here equals this one here. So then X would equal 80, and again, the Z pattern. I put a little slash through my Z so that it looks more like a Z, not a 2. Sometimes it looks too much like a 2. I got to fix my Z, so Z pattern. Okay, so that's another 80. Another way you could have done it was also used a straight angle, knowing that this is a triangle, that's why. So you're going to get more than one way to get to the answer. And not one way is just right. There's going to be more than one right way. All right, so this next one, again, I can see a Z here. So that would get me, when I highlight this, I'm going to say over here. That means this one should equal this one. So X right away is 52, and that's Z pattern. All right. And I could have found other ones as well. I could have found 71. You can fill in as much as you want. Moving on to the last question on this page here. We have find the indicated angles. So again, the indicated would be the W, the X, and the Y. Here I've got the Z, Z, or Z or Z, X, and the Y. Right? So those are the indicated ones. And we have all the other information. You can fill in as much as you need or want to fill in. You don't have to fill in just the least amount. So we've got here, these two are tick marks. So this one equals this one, which means the angles equal. So I'm going to fill in 50 right away. Then I know that there's going to be some Z patterns, whoosh, like that. And that would tell me that X would equal 50 as well. So X is equal to 50 as well. So I can write that down, X equals 50. Doesn't ask for an explanation, so I'll just do the answer. Then we've got, over here, we've got 21 and Y. How can I use any of these patterns to keep going? So I only have 50, I don't have 21, so I can't use a protractor. I can't use the 180, but I can use the 50 here. So I'm going to take the 50, and I'm going to do this. So that means that this angle and this angle must both be 50, right? So if this angle is 50 and this is 50, then we're going to go 50 minus, so this whole thing here is 50, which matches this whole angle. So 50 minus the 21 is going to get you 29. So this guy here is 29 degrees. All right, and then you have a lot of choices now. I can keep finishing up this whole straight angle, or you can go and do another Z pattern. So the Z pattern for this one connects this orange one to this one, which means that W also equals 29. So this corner here would match this corner here. So I've got X and W. And there's more than one way to get there, right? As long as you've done the math, you should be able to get there more than one way. For this question here, again, we've got the parallel lines. So these two are parallel with each other. Okay, and then I also have these parallel lines here. So these parallel lines here. Okay. Now, if we're looking for a Z, Z or Z and Y, we've got some parallel lines here. That's 85, that's a triangle. Okay, I'm going to start filling in what I know. This is F pattern, so I know that this is 85. Right, so this is like an F here and there, so that's what I'm thinking in my brain. So F pattern. Then I know that I can find, what else can I find? Oh, Z pattern here. So then if I do a Z pattern, then this should be 70. So right away I know that Z equals 70 degrees. Okay. Based on that, again, I can use the parallel lines. These guys are F here, so this goes to F this way, so this is also going to be 70 because it's an F pattern, right? That pattern there looks like this, right? So that's 70 and 70. That's what I got there. Then you can get the whole triangle. So then you can say, okay, but for the whole triangle, that goes from here to here to here. This should also be 70, right? Because we've got the F pattern. So this is F pattern. So this one here is going to be 70 as well. So now I know X is also 70 because F pattern goes there. Then for this triangle here, it's going to be 180 minus 85 and minus the 70. Right? And that gets me 25 degrees. So that means that This one is 25 degrees, so y is 25 degrees. Okay, again, there's going to be more than one way you can get to the answer. You just want to find a way that gets you there eventually. Okay, and you might have to fill in more angles, but it's fine. And our last one here is the try now for Chapter 7, for this section of Chapter 7. We're going to take a look at this one. So this one here, we have 100, 130 here for this angle. It's on the outside, so that means this is 130, that's 100. We're trying to find x. All I see in this one is that there's a triangle. So a triangle is pretty much my best bet in this case. So I'm going to use the straight angle to get this missing angle here. So this would be 180 minus 130, so that would be 50 degrees. Right, so that's 180. How did I get that? 180 minus 130. All right. Then I go and look at the question again. What else can I get? And because I have a triangle and two sides, I can do this. So 180 minus the 100 and minus the 50, which gets me 150, so it'll get me 30. Okay, so that means that this is 30, so therefore x is 30 degrees. Okay, a couple more. Again, once you see the parallel lines, you know that you can use the Z, F, or C pattern. That's the only time you're allowed to use that, if you have two parallel lines. Okay, based on the parallel lines, you can use any of those patterns, C, F, or Z. I don't see an F. No F here. That's supposed to be 72. So I guess I could fill in this angle based on the triangle. So just because you see parallel lines doesn't mean you have to use them. So based on the triangle, I'm going to get this angle here. So it's going to be 180 minus 72 and minus 31. Let me calculate that. So 180 minus 72 and minus 31, and I'm getting 77. So that means that this corner here is 77 degrees because there's a triangle, the green triangle here. Then from there, I love my straight angles. So straight angles means it adds to 180. So 180 minus 77 is going to be 180 minus 77 is going to be 103 degrees. So that means this is 103. Okay, and then now we just start using our opposite angles, filling in everything we don't know. So here, this would be opposite angle, so that's 103. Does that help you get to the x? Yes, it does. Because look, F pattern. So this guy must be the same as this guy. So then x is 103 degrees. And y is the 103 degrees that we just found over there. Okay, so hopefully these are right. Next one. Okay, so again, if you don't know how to get there, I just start filling in everything I know. So I know that this would be 104. I know that for a straight angle, you do 180 minus 104, which would get us 76. That gives us 76 here. Okay, I cannot use Z pattern, C pattern, or F pattern because there is no parallel lines. So parallel lines, you can't use it. So here, then we're going to try to get this triangle finished so I can move over here. How do I finish this triangle? Well, I have two sides to a triangle. So you're going to do 180 minus the 76 and minus the 68. Right, so 180 minus 76 and minus 68 would get us 36. So this would be 36 degrees. Then you do this. Oh, and also here. You could have done that here. It's a straight angle. So it adds to, a straight angle adds to 180. So 180 minus 36 is 144. So this is going to be 144. 180 minus 136. For this one, right, so that's x. For this one here, you have 2 slices, but you have 1 slice left over. So you're going to do 180 minus 30 and minus 68. Right, so 180 minus 30 is 150, minus 68 gets us to 82. So this one here would be 82 degrees. And that's for that half. The thing with this is that practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll be in finding all of the missing angles. And you should be able to use most of the missing angles. Always try to fill in whatever you can first, right? So sometimes you go, okay, I don't know how to get there. Just fill in every angle you can. Look over here. I filled in all this stuff. Did I even need? I don't know if I needed that. I only needed the 76, but I filled in a lot of that. So it doesn't matter. If you fill in more, that's fine.